My name is Danielle Gonyea. I have 3 boys that attend Hospital for Special Care, Ronan, Zealand, and Griffin. We've pretty much received the whole package around here. We've done speech and OT mostly, but we also have done ABA and we also do PT and feeding. One thing I adore the most is that it's helping them communicate in the way that works best for them. I learned so much when you hear speech and language that there's so much more than just talking. It's so much more than just use your words. When they're in speech here, they are able to find out how to get them interested and motivated to talk and how to point and how to use visuals. And it's a really individual catered way to figure out how they learn, and they're able to make a program that pulls the best out of them. So them working on using their words, but using them functionally. One of our children, Zealand, speaks very well, but he needs to know what his words mean, and that they have effects. If you say words, they're gonna respond in a certain way. So they're helping him learn what they mean and how to use them when you need something. They're helping with their emotional regularity. So if they get really upset, they're finding ways to calm down, ways to handle those emotions where you can get what you need. And then OT, they're just getting more comfortable with their bodies so they can be a little bit more functional on their feet. And because there's 3 very vast needs, I've loved how all 3 kids are getting individual programs. We love coming here. It has been the best thing for my boys. It gave me a lot of confidence that when we got our 3rd son's diagnosis that they had a place of support. This has been a second family to us. This has been a place that has taken care of us. The problem that comes up, this team is ready to take it on and really make you feel like, as a mom, that your concerns are valid, and they take them and they do whatever they can to help you. It's so play-based for them that they don't even realize they're working. There might be non-preferred activities on any given day, but they love it, and they love their team, they love who comes in, and because there's such a trust with the team that we have, that if somebody new comes in, they're like, okay, Ms. Jamie said this person's okay, Ms. Rachel said this person's okay, so they must be good. And they'll allow them into their world, and it's just that alone has expanded their social skills. Just because once they've established trust with somebody, they can really introduce new programs and new things, and they're like, okay, if Jamie said it's okay, this must be okay. And they've expanded that way because of the trust that we've built. We've made a lot of modifications at home to make sure that they feel comfortable and are able to regulate themselves. We've been able to learn what works for them here, and then I'm able to take something at home and really learn and carry it throughout the week because we've been able to acquire different equipment that's helped them. Our playroom will look very much like this OT room. We have these mats, but a little smaller. We have trampolines, we have a bounce house. We have some sensory chairs. We have an egg chair that spins that gives them some regulation. We have a crash pad. They also do really well with weighted blankets. You know, for us, we look for acceptance all year long, but this month is just a beautiful opportunity for me to share what autism is to us, what it means to us, what it benefits, what it's taught us as parents, me and my husband. But it's also a way to say it's not what you think, and it's nothing that you think, and it's everything that you think. It's hard, but it's also beautiful. And I love that there's an opportunity for me to share that my kids are so different, but yes, it's still autism. And I'm able to explain to you why. Why that, their skills are through the roof and they still can have autism. And he struggles a little bit, but that's not autism, but this is. So it's just a nice opportunity to share why my kids look so different, but they all still have autism. So it's an opportunity for me to really explain our family. It's really nice to let people in on why autism is such a big part of our lives. It means different, but it means beautiful. It's given us perspective in a way that I never thought I would have as a mother, in a great way. But autism doesn't hold you back. It just means you have to approach it in a different way. And I think that has been a beautiful lesson, a life lesson for me and my husband and our close friends and family. And it also really has helped us realize, not to sweat the small stuff, but sometimes the small stuff is the big stuff. So we celebrate every milestone in our house because sometimes you don't know if you're going to get that milestone, or you don't know that you're going to get, to a typical age at some point of, they're supposed to do this at this age. Not necessarily. So when we do have those milestones, we just celebrate them. And so that's really special for us too. A big milestone for Zealand has been that he can use his words appropriately. He was remembering dialogue, he was scripting and talking like crazy, but now he realizes that those words mean something, and he now can tell a joke. He can now tell a story to you and really be excited to tell you about it and not just talking. My oldest son, Ronan, has come such a long way with using his words to validate his feelings. he'll be able to say, that doesn't feel good. I would like to do something else. And we're like, oh, good. You were able to speak to us and tell us what you wanted. So now we can help. A huge milestone for us is their problem solving, that they're learning when something is frustrating that you have options. You can keep trying and maybe you get better, or you can ask for help. You have options instead of just being so upset in your own little world, especially if you don't have all those words. But because of all of this therapy and because of all of the support we've gotten, they know they have resources to handle their emotions. It sounds kind of cliche, but don't judge a book by its cover. Do not think that someone can't do something just because they present a little differently. And if they can't do it, just be a little bit more understanding as to why. When you see me out in public with 3 kids that may or may not be paying attention and cooperating, I would love them to just be a little bit more patient and understanding that there might be more going on than just, lack of discipline. And some of it is age appropriate, but some of it is just some of the challenge that they have. My biggest thing is ask. I know everyone may not be as open as I am, but if you ever have any questions about why my child is doing something or why they behaved in a way, I personally am really happy to share with you why. And I would much rather you ask a mom, ask a kid, and do it in a friendly way, and you'll actually learn why they're doing something, and it might help you get better understanding. I am their biggest advocate. Me and my husband are their biggest fans, and we owe it to them to make sure that the world gives them a shot to be understood. You might end up finding out that he loves some of the same stuff that your child loves, even if it might look a little different, and then all of a sudden you have something in common, and then they're going to end up being friends forever. The diagnosis has only given us hope, support, help. It's given us so much. It has opened the doors for a better future. It is not a scary thing. It actually was relief to find the diagnosis, because there are things out there that can help these boys have a great future. Once I realized we were on our own journey, and these 3 boys are on their own journey, it helped get us excited instead of getting scared of the diagnosis. So I can tell you 3 times over that it's worth it. I've seen the improvement faster and quicker on their own little curve, because we got the intervention and the help. So don't wait. I guess is my biggest thing. Don't wait. If you have any questions about your child's development, get seen, get looked at. It will only help.